Hi everybody, my name is Julie, and my website, I'll put my website down below. I'm an indie filmmaker in Oakland, California, but I don't usually do like celebrity type videos, but celebrities are awesome. I guess I did a video about my favorite cover band and their kind of celebrities, but anyway, I don't usually do celebrity videos, but I did, for some reason, the whole Will Smith thing has kind of, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted. I know Will Smith is very successful, and I've always been a fan of Will Smith. Ever since you can Google it, and by now it's common knowledge that he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. And but what I wanted to say is, like, I've always been a really big fan of Will Smith. I'm still a fan of Will Smith, and so I know he's very successful. He has way more money than I do, but I guess I still feel empathy and compassion for Will Smith. I also feel empathy and compassion for Chris Rock as well. But I just wanted to, I guess there's like so many videos about this on YouTube, and I did like 2 podcasts on it, but I'm going to go ahead, since I'm an indie filmmaker, I'm kind of in showbiz, kind of not really. No one's ever heard of me, and that's okay. Alright, so, but what I want to say is, the point of this video is, I do want to weigh in, is that the biggest thing I want to say is, not that, you know, but I forgive Will Smith, and like, not that Will Smith needs my forgiveness, but I do forgive Will Smith, and I hope we all, as a planet, can forgive Will Smith. And I think the slap brought up a lot of cultural differences, I think, or it brings up how people are different, because I understand why he slapped Chris Rock. He shouldn't have done it, but I get why he did it. I was born in a place called Appomattox, Virginia, and so small town Virginia, so which is a very different culture than California culture, in my opinion. There's good things, there's great things about California. I live in California, I like it, but it's like, it's planet Mars compared to where I grew up. And where I grew up, I would say, is more quote-unquote normal or regular. And, you know, Will Smith is from Philadelphia, and I would feel like that's a little more regular or quote-unquote normal than California, which is a little bit topsy-turvy. So biggest thing I want to say is, like, I just had a couple of things to say, is like, one, I forgive Will Smith. I hope we can all forgive Will Smith, because I'm such a big fan of his. And okay, here's a couple of things I wanted to say. One, I forgive Will Smith. 2, I just want to say, like, the reason why I understand why Will Smith slapped him, I know it's like a really fancy party, and you can't slap people at fancy parties, and you can't slap people at work, you can't do those things, so he shouldn't have done it. But I gotta tell you, like, if you're married to somebody or you're in love with somebody, I think most people can relate to this. If you feel like someone keeps, like, let's say I'm single, but also super gay, so let's say I'm married to a woman, and this dude keeps clowning on my wife in front of the whole world, I kind of get how it's like, dude, stop. So I kind of get I just understand the sentiment behind why Will Smith did it. That's his wife. And and that's the second time Chris keeps clowning on Jada. Yeah, the joke perhaps wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but I understand Will Smith, the sentiment of, like, you know, stop clowning on his, you know. And what I wanted to say is, like, so if I'm married, and you know, if someone starts clowning on the person you're married to, what I put is, it hits you kind of funny. You know, it hits you in the heart a little bit funny. It hits you in the soul a little bit funny. And that night, Chris Rock told the joke, and it hit Will Smith in a funny kind of way. And I get it. But I'm from small town Virginia. I'm not from California or whatever, where it is kind of topsy-turvy in California, since I've lived out here. But in small town Virginia, like, you don't clown on somebody. You know what I mean? You don't clown on people's wives. Like, you just don't do that. So, yeah, so it's just, Chris, in my opinion, he shouldn't have told the joke. I mean, you know what I mean? And like they're saying like he didn't write the joke. And y'all, if the joke was written by like white writers, not awesome, not great. So it's just not good. You got read a history book. I wish Chris Rock had not told the joke. That's what I do want to say about that. But, and yes, Will shouldn't have hit him, but it's also like, if someone's clowning on the person you're married to or you're dating, it does hit you kind of funny. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, I think. Apparently not everybody, but a lot of people can. But also, you can't, it's not okay to slap people and punch people. Like, that's not okay for sure. But yeah, and okay, the other thing I wanted to say is, in my opinion, because California is so topsy-turvy, in my opinion, the thing that's a little baffling too is like it was just a slap, and because I'm from small town Virginia, when I was in high school, I went to a high school that was pretty diverse. It was like 48% African American, and then the rest white people, and then there are some Asian Americans, but that is to say, like, the high school I went to, when people got in fights in middle school or high school, like, they got into fights, like, fights. So, I don't know, like, what I saw, it was just a slap, like, he pulled the punch. For me, I was just like, well, it is bad, but it's not, I've seen worse things. I've seen worse things, so, but he shouldn't have done it, but it's just, like, I don't understand why people are like clutching their pearls, because it's like, because having said that, to me, that is not the worst thing that's happened at the Academy. If you, like, I don't do celebrity gossip, but this isn't even gossip. If you Google, it's intense, but if you Google Woody Allen, if you Google Roman Polanski, or if you Google Harvey Weinstein, they gave those people Oscars after they knew the weird, just Google it. You can Google it. I don't want to get into that. But the worst, in my opinion, and I also grew up Baptist, so just based on the, I don't know, like, what would Jesus do type of stuff, worse things have happened. The worst things have happened at the Oscars than a grown adult man slapping another grown adult man. You know what I mean? So there's way worse things that have happened at the Oscars than that. So I just I don't understand the pearl clutching, because it's like, why weren't we clutching pearls over the actual messed up things that have happened at the Oscars in front of people, in front of cameras? Yeah, and so it's like, yeah, okay, worse things have happened at the Oscars than Will Smith slapping, a grown man slapping another grown man. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say, I'm going to say some nice stuff about Chris Rock. The other thing I wanted to say was that he's just always seemed like a really good guy, and I messaged my friend who is an actor in New York City, and she's amazing. And I remember a long time ago, she took the time to like post on Facebook. She was an extra in Men in Black 3, and she took the time to post on Facebook because she was just kind of not blown away, but she was just really impressed. And I messaged her to double check again. So I asked her, hey, didn't you work kind of, she was an extra, which is amazing. It's amazing that she was an extra, but didn't you kind of work with Will Smith, And she's like, yeah. She's like, when she was an extra on Men in Black 3, she said she was blown away because he was kind to everyone. She's like, everyone. He was kind to the actors. He was kind to the crew. He was very gracious with the extras. And by this time, he's an A-list actor. I mean, he's pretty much been A-list his whole life, or not really. I started listening to his book, Will, but anyway, the point is, like, Men in Black 3, he's definitely A-list. And she's like, she took the time to post on Facebook. She's like, how much she was just like, just really impressed with how gracious he was with everybody on set, the cast, the crew, the extras, everybody. She's like, he was nice to everyone. And she put everyone she put the word everyone in caps. So yeah, like, and I guess like, he made a movie called The Pursuit of Happiness, and it's shot in the Bay Area, and that part, I like to watch it because I can recognize different locations, but also his performance is outstanding in it. So yeah, so I've watched that movie a couple times. I really like I Am Legend. Yeah, he's great. I saw King Richard. He's really good in King Richard. So, and I guess like I don't know him. I know I don't know him, but I guess like collectively I've always thought of him, if we're talking the terms parasocial, you can Google what that means, but yeah, like I've always thought of him as, I would think of him like an older brother or something, and that's a compliment. He just seems, or like he does represent like a really cool leading man, you know what I mean? He just seems like, when they talk about positive masculinity, like I would think of him, Will Smith, you know, or Superman or Black Panther, but just the idea of a good solid guy, I think of Will Smith, you know. Oh, and like again, I don't do celebrity gossip, but like if him and his wife are in an open relationship, whatever, like none of my business, that's between them, like I'm not, you know, whatevs. But clearly he loves her, right? Because, well, we saw how much he loves her. So yeah, so what I did want to see, like, he does seem like a good guy, and my friend who was an extra for Men in Black 3 confirmed, like, she was just really impressed with how gracious he was. He didn't have to do that, like, you know what I mean? He's A-list, so yeah, I just always thought he was a really great guy, and I still do think he's a great guy. So I guess the part where, you know, and I have a life and friends and family, and I love everybody, but I don't know. I guess like the Will Smith thing for some reason really struck me. So I hope he's okay. Like genuinely, as a fan, like I hope he's okay. I can't afford him, but I'd totally love to work with him one day. As an indie filmmaker, I mean, I'm sure he's expensive, which totally makes sense. But yeah, no, I don't know. Like I just hope he's okay, because it's just like, I think when he won his Oscar, like we saw something was going on. So yeah. All right, and whatever, some YouTubers have, like, drawn up old clips, like, he was an asshole once, like, 10 years ago, and I was like, yeah, okay, like, I mean, haven't we all been assholes sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever, you know, we've all been jerks sometimes, so, like, you know, we've all had not great moments, but it just seems like overall, he is, like, a good person, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the other thing I want to say is, like, I'm an indie filmmaker, and I'm actually in the Bay Area, Oakland, San Francisco area, but I do gotta tell you, because I grew up in small town Virginia, which is probably more normal, whatever, for the average American than California, and all I can say is, you know, I'm, you've never heard of me, I'm not famous, but, like, I have stories of California being very topsy-turvy, and I have stories of California being amazing, I want to say that, but I also have stories of California being, like, topsy-turvy, or, like, a little bit sleazy, or la la la, and I'm, like, not judging, but I am judging, like, unethical behavior, so that's harmful and hurtful to others, so I just want to say, like, it's topsy-turvy. So it's like, I think Dave Chappelle who's a genius, right? I think Dave Chappelle, he's given really good interviews talking about how it's a tough business, show business, and he's given really good interviews how show business has a way of, like, breaking really strong people, and he gives examples of really strong people, but there's just something about the business that really can break people. And Dave Chappelle is a genius storyteller, so you can Google that if you want more info on that. But it's just to say that it is a tough business. I mean, I've seen, my stories aren't that bad, but they're not that great. So I have teeny tiny little topsy-turvy stories I could tell about California being topsy-turvy. That's the best way I can put it. So to me, it's like, I guess I wonder what Will Smith has seen in the business. And maybe it's been great. Maybe it's been all puppies and sunshine in showbiz for Will Smith. So you know what I mean? But I don't know. I still think he's a good guy, and that he just, we just caught him at a very raw moment, but also, like, yo, Chris Rock, stop clowning on his wife. But okay, now, but you know, it's just because I'm from small town Virginia, like I tend to understand why he felt compelled to do that. You know, why Will Smith felt compelled to do that, even though violence is not the answer, but I get it, you know. And then, okay, and the final thing I want to say is, like, Chris Rock is super awesome. He's a comedic genius. And I think, you know, some people are, like, saying, was it emasculating, la, la, la. And I was like, no, like, Chris Rock was very masculine. He was very manly. Like, he took the hit. You know what I mean? He didn't hit back, which was a very masculine thing to do because, and I know I'm a woman saying this, but he was at work. Most of us, we can't hit nobody at work. We will get fired or they will call the cops. So you can't do violence at work. Chris Rock was at work. What's he gonna do? He's gonna fight somebody at work. So I think what Chris Rock showed a lot of grace. He was very graceful. I think Chris Rock came across fantastic in the whole situation. So the reason why I'm not, you know, Chris Rock seems fine. I hope he wasn't in any physical pain. Yeah, Chris Rock seems fine, and I think, like I said, he's a comedic genius and he's awesome. So, yeah, I think Chris Rock handled it very well. He came across very manly and masculine in how he handled it. Yeah, I just want to say that for the, I don't know, like, I think Chris Rock is awesome, and the way he handled it was great. So yeah, I just want to say I do forgive Will Smith. I hope we can all collectively forgive Will Smith. And, like, I don't know, like, I saw some YouTubers who were like, oh, I think Will Smith needs a hug. And I was like, yeah, or something, I don't know. Or maybe he needs, like, a pat on the shoulder, I don't know. But I forgive Will Smith, and I hope we can all collectively forgive Will Smith, and we can all equally send lots of love to Chris Rock as well. And I hope he's okay, you know. We saw, some people think it was staged, like, who knows, you know. But I hope Will Smith's okay, and I hope we can all collectively, like, forgive him. And I guess California topsy-turvy culture, people don't understand why would you do that, but I don't know. I understand why in that moment he felt compelled he had to do that, so I get it, but I'm from small town Virginia, so I'm from a different culture, right? So, but I forgive Will Smith. He shouldn't have done it. Violence is not the answer, but I get the sentiment behind why he did it. And lots of love towards Chris Rock. He's a comedic genius. He's awesome, and he handled it really well, so. But yeah, I hope we can all collectively forgive Will Smith and send lots of love towards Will and send lots of love towards Chris. Okay, well, I'm Julie, and you can check out my website here, but I wanted to, for some reason, weigh in on this. And I hope y'all are awesome. I hope you have a great day, and let's all try to be kind to each other with our words and let's not make fun of each other's wives. Let's just not do that. Okay, so it hits you kind of funny if you do that. So let's not make fun of each other's wives, although I'm single right now. But also, violence is not the answer. Let's not hit people either. I forgive Will. Lots of love towards Will and Chris. And let's all be awesome and make the world a better place. Okay, I'm Julie. You can check out my website here. Y'all have been super awesome. Thanks for watching. Bye.